Is this a pyramid?
Is this a pyramid?
Has anybody ever asked you that before? Maybe you're talking with a prospect and they're like, this kind of sounds like a pyramid. Or maybe they're asking if it's a pyramid scheme or something like that. And you're just like, oh, don't you know me? Would I ever do something like that? If you've ever been there, then that is what we are talking about all today in this video. So if you've ever been asked the dreaded question, is this a pyramid? If you have, put a yes down in the comments below, because you know what? You are not alone. You are in good company, my friend. If you have been in network marketing for any length of time, you've probably been asked that question. And so we're going to talk about, number one, how to avoid getting that question altogether. And number two, how to handle it when it does come up. So the first thing is, how do we avoid it? Let's just not get this question altogether. How does that sound? Well, the first thing is that a lot of times we when we're talking to prospects, when we're in Messenger, we're calling, we're texting, whatever you're doing, when we're talking to prospects, a lot of times we put off language that they don't get, they don't understand. And by the way that we're talking, we are literally provoking is this a pyramid right from the prospect. Now, let me give you an example. Sometimes we use inside lingo, like things that are normal, comfortable, everyday talk for us here in network marketing. We use that kind of language with them and they just don't get it. And so boom, red flag flies up and they're like, hey, is this a pyramid? So what does that sound like? Okay. And let's unpack this a little bit more. Have you ever been around sports fanatics? Any sports fanatics out there, whether you're into football, baseball, soccer, whatever it is, when you are a sports fanatic, you have language, you have things that you talk about, you get very excited, very passionate, and you know what? Some people that are not sports fanatics, they don't get it. They don't know what you're talking about, they don't understand what you mean, and you might say things that to another sports fanatic sounds like completely normal, but to somebody that has no idea about the sports world, they don't get that, okay? And so sometimes we in network marketing, we kind of do the same thing. And so what I mean by that is, let's say you're having a conversation. You're like, oh my gosh, I found this thing. It's amazing. You can come in. I can put people underneath you. Then everybody makes commissions. It's growing so fast. We got a power leg. Let me get you on the power leg. Like the person is like, I don't know what you're talking about, but that sounds like a pyramid. Ever been there? Sometimes we say things to where the prospect, the only place their mind knows to go is like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't get all that, but that kind of sounds like a pyramid to me. Okay. And so what we got to do and how we're going to avoid getting this objection altogether is we change the language that we're using when we're approaching our prospect. So let's say, for example, you are talking to somebody and they are a business-minded person. Maybe they do very well in corporate America and you probably are building your network marketing business part-time, right? But you want to have a conversation with them about what you're doing to find out if they're open. So the conversation would sound something like this. Hey, so-and-so, how's it going? You have a little bit of chit chat and just say, hey, listen, I'm working on a side project. It's shaping up to be super lucrative. And I've always had a ton of respect for you. And I'm just curious, do you keep your options open for other ways of making money outside of what you do, in the oil and gas company? And they're only going to say one of three things. They're going to say, yes, I am. No, I'm not. Or what is it that you have? They will not ask you, is this a pyramid? Why? Because I didn't give pyramid sounding language to make them ask that question. Okay. So that is the first thing, is let's reframe how we're connecting with the prospect. And more than likely, if you ever get this question, it's in that initial contact. It's not after they've seen everything, because if they've seen everything, then they know it's not, right? They know you have to put work, you have to put some energy in. And from that, the fruit of that is you can build, a six-figure business or multiple six-figure business. So that's the first part. Now let's say you've already got this question. and you know what? Now what? What do we do? It's like hot potato in your lap, right? And so what you can do then is there's a couple things. So like, hey, this kind of sounds like a pyramid. Say, well, you know what? That's an interesting question. Like, what all do you know about pyramids? That's a response you can come back with. So another thing that you might say is when they ask, is this a pyramid? Say, hey, you know what? I don't know about all that. All I know is some of the top entrepreneurs in the world recommend this type of business model. People like Tony Robbins, Grant Cardone, Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, Robert Kiyosaki. They say that if they had to start from scratch, if they had to start from, all over again in business, that this is the type of business model that they would do. And I don't know about you, but if they all are endorsing this type of structure, that sounds good enough for me. Boom. You are off and running. So what we want to do, here's the moral of the story. Here's what we want to do moving forward is number one, we want to start changing our language as we're making that initial contact. So we're not getting the red flags flying up for our prospect and then thinking, is this a pyramid, right? That's our first thing. Then the second thing is if on the rare instance, after doing that, you happen to get, somebody asking you more details, just come back with a lot of credibility and they'll be like, oh, okay. Another thing you can do is you can just have a good time with it. Is this a pyramid? Well, I don't know. Do you like pyramids? Because you know what? You could be the pharaoh of this one, right? No, I'm just kidding. No, you wouldn't say that. But have a good time with it. Make a goal that you change your language and what you're saying so that you never get this objection in the first place. And then number two, have the power and confidence when you do get the objection to really know how to come back with the authority and the credibility that is behind the entire network marketing and direct sales profession, which is a whole lot. And so hopefully you got some value out of this. If you did, put the word value down below. I can't wait to hear from you. Love to see your comments. And also, if you want help in prospecting and recruiting, and you're like, hey, I'm just getting into this. I want to get better at it. I want to have more leaders bringing in, more recruits coming in. If that's where you're at, then I have some good news. I actually put together something called my Power Prospecting Guide. And this is something where we literally go A to Z. We dive into how to make the connection, what to say, and how to have new recruits and leaders joining your team. So I will drop the link down here. You can go ahead and grab that. That's my free gift to you. And until next time, my friend, go out there, live your life to the full, conquer your fears, and let's go get everything that God has in store for you. Take care and be blessed. Hey, you made it to the end. Well, aren't you a superstar? Check you out. Hey, if you'd like more, click on the videos to the left. They're exactly what you need to hear next. And if this was helpful, drop a comment down below. I'd love to connect with you personally. I read all the comments each and every week. Last off, if you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button. Don't miss a beat and learn what's new and current today in network marketing.